I believed it was merely a small error, one that would end there, but I was mistaken. That day marked the start of a journey filled with intricate and taboo experiences that would shape my existence. Even now, as I share this tale, I can feel my hands trembling because this isn't just a confession. It's a journey through my own inner turmoil, grappling with feelings of shame and longing. Alfred, my mother's husband, was a figure of maturity and charisma, radiating confidence effortlessly. He possessed a presence that drew people in without the need for raised voices. In the stillness of the house, he often remained silent, but his mere existence had a way of bringing life to every corner. He was my mother's second husband, and our bond was never particularly strong. He maintained a courteous demeanor, yet there was an air of separation until that fateful day when the course of events shifted dramatically. My mom, Jennifer, was out enjoying her time with her friends, just like she often does. Sterling and I inherited the house. It was a serene evening, or so I believed it would be. As I stepped into my room, I found myself in front of the mirror, clad only in my underwear, ready to transform my look. Just as I was about to slip into a dress, a soft creak echoed through the room, signaling the door's slow opening. "Emily, your door's open," Sterling whispered gently from the threshold. His voice carried a serene strength that caught me off guard. As I glanced over, I caught his gaze fixed upon me. Moments hung in the air, suspended in a delicate balance. In that moment, uncertainty enveloped me. I remained still, leaving myself exposed, yet choosing not to shift at all. He lingered at the threshold, his hand poised on the door as if caught in a moment of contemplation, weighing the choice between entering or retreating. His gaze held for a moment, stirring a mix of bewilderment and an indescribable sensation within me. My heart raced within me. In the blink of an eye, the world around me transformed completely. "I'm sorry," he said at last, looking away, though his tone lacked true remorse. There was a subtle wavering in his expression, as if he was caught in a moment of reflection, uncertain about the depth of his remorse. He took a step back, yet his essence lingered in the air, even after the door had clicked shut behind him. "It's fine," I whispered, my voice trembling just a bit, yet deep down I understood it was anything but fine. A change had taken root within me, and it was impossible to overlook. He departed, and I found myself alone with my reflections, but his lingering gaze and the subtle tension in the atmosphere remained with me. That moment lingered in my thoughts, refusing to fade away. I believed it was merely an error, an uncomfortable moment, something that would eventually disappear, but I was mistaken. Just a few days later, the events unfolded once more, and this time they took an even deeper turn. Until that moment, it all seemed like just an awkward blunder, a misstep in timing, and I shared that belief. Yet it soon became clear to me that this was just the beginning. That day marked the start of something extraordinary, and now I will share with you all the events that unfolded from that moment onward. The following day, we found ourselves heading to a wedding celebration. One of my mom's dearest companions was preparing to tie the knot for the second time. My mom was her typical vibrant and enthusiastic self, all dressed up and eager for the occasion. Celeste was the kind of person who thrived on adventure and excitement. I cherished my friends, yet my commitment to the concept of loyalty didn't run as deep. Initially, I felt indifferent about attending, but the moment Sterling arrived at the wedding, everything shifted. Our journey to the venue began as we walked side by side, sharing the anticipation of what was to come. Amidst the lively throng, my gaze kept drifting toward Alfred, more often than I intended. Perhaps he had always possessed this charm, this allure, and I simply hadn't seen it until now. Amidst the gentle shimmer of the wedding lights, he appeared to exude an air of assurance. His suit was crafted with impeccable precision. With each step he took, an air of effortless charm surrounded him. Still, I found myself wrestling with the thoughts swirling in my mind. "Don't be absurd, Emily," I reminded myself, yet my gaze kept drifting back to him. A melody began to fill the air. My mom and Sterling found themselves lost in the moment on the dance floor, moving gracefully to the music's beat. Celeste wore her familiar carefree smile, but in the midst of the dance, she unexpectedly turned to me and flashed a grin. Sterling extended his hand to Emily, inviting her to join him on the dance floor, and she accepted with a smile. "I'm heading over to my friend's place for a little while." A spark ignited within me. My heart began to race with anticipation. Sterling paused briefly, a smile spreading across his face as he reached out his hand to me. His eyes conveyed a sense of calm assurance, radiating confidence. "Come on, Emily," he said, a playful glint in his eyes. "You'll have to share some of your secrets with me." Celeste has already put me in a tight spot on the dance floor. His relaxed attitude made it impossible for me to say no. I extended my hand cautiously, my voice quivering as I responded, "Sure." As we made our way to the dance floor, the eyes of the crowd felt like 1,000 whispers, each one adding to the flutter of excitement and anxiety in my chest. As his hand settled on my waist, a rush of excitement surged through me, making my breath hitch in my throat. His cologne lingered in the air, the warmth of his touch igniting memories that felt vividly alive. This tale is on the verge of a twist. If you're curious, be sure to subscribe to my channel and enable notifications for more updates. Your encouragement is truly invaluable. Remember to share your thoughts and show some love. As we twirled together, Alfred's gaze remained fixed on me, weaving a silent tale between us. "Emily, I never realized you possessed such remarkable talent," he remarked with a friendly grin. His voice held a certain allure that resonated profoundly within me. "Sharing a dance with you is truly delightful." I turned my eyes away, attempting to conceal the turmoil that danced within me. "I'm giving it my all," I confessed, yet the quiver in my voice revealed my truth. Alfred's smile took on a gentler warmth. "Don't underestimate your worth," he said, his hand pressing more firmly against my waist, a silent encouragement echoing in the air between us. "This is more than mere movement. We have a tale to share. Can you sense it?" In that instant, I understood that what we shared went beyond the rhythm of our movements. As I swayed to the rhythm, my body danced effortlessly, yet my heart and mind were caught in a whirlwind of chaos. As the world around us blurred, my mom's presence stood out, and the cacophony of the crowd became a distant echo. Only Sterling remained, along with the steady hands that kept me grounded. The turmoil and longing within me were overwhelming. As the dance unfolded, Alfred's voice emerged gently yet profoundly, cutting through the whirlwind of my thoughts. "I just wanted to express my regrets about what happened the other day," he said. I intended to offer a gentle reminder, but I realize now it may have come off as a bit intrusive to your personal space. A delightful warmth enveloped me, and I sensed a rosy hue spreading across my cheeks. As my gaze fell, I felt the urge to lighten the mood. "It's all right," I replied hastily, my voice trembling just a bit. "Honestly, it's not a huge issue. Such events can unfold." Sterling took a brief moment to gather his thoughts, yet his feet continued to move gracefully, his gaze unwaveringly locked onto mine. Yet he pressed on, his tone becoming gentler. "I want to assure you that causing any discomfort was never my aim. I simply wished to capture your interest." My heart raced with anticipation. "I wasn't uneasy," I said, attempting to put him at ease. Simultaneously, I was grappling with the peculiar excitement that was starting to swell within me. "Honestly, it's all good." The atmosphere around us grew heavy for a moment as we swayed together on the dance floor. His hand rested gently on my waist, and the sincerity in his gaze ignited a profound feeling within me. Yet the fervor was fleeting as the melodies gradually faded away. Our movements came to a halt. "Thank you," Sterling said, with a warm smile that seemed to invite you into a world of tales yet to be told. "Your ability to move gracefully and connect through dance is truly remarkable." I just nodded, my heart pounding in my chest. "Thank you as well," I murmured gently. With a swift motion, I made my way back to my table and took a seat. Sterling paused for a heartbeat, his gaze lingering on me, before he finally shifted to another table. In that instant, the unspoken connection in those lingering glances revealed that what we shared was far from finished. In truth, this was merely the beginning. Prepare the scene. As Celeste made her way back to the wedding hall, her face lit up with a radiant smile that drew us in. "What a delightful performance," she remarked, offering her congratulations to us. "You both shone brilliantly out there." Her kind words left me feeling even more flustered, yet I attempted to brush it off with ease. "It was quite the adventure," I remarked with a subtle grin. Sterling offered a subtle nod, a faint smile flickering at the corners of his mouth. Celeste carried on with her words, her hands coming together in enthusiastic applause. "Have you heard the news? Once the wedding festivities conclude, the girls and I will embark on an unforgettable bachelorette celebration, exclusively for girls. Alfred, you'll be the one to bring Mira back, won't you?" Sterling wore a gentle smile. "Absolutely, that's not an issue at all," he responded with a relaxed demeanor. In that instant, it struck me just how unjust Jennifer's actions were towards Alfred. On a night meant for companionship, she chose to walk away, leaving him in solitude. A wave of unease washed over me, yet I stifled it deep within. Celeste appeared completely indifferent. It was evident that enjoying time with her friends took center stage in her life. As the last notes of the wedding faded away, Sterling and I strolled side by side toward the car, our hearts still echoing the day's magic. Celeste had already set off with her friends to explore new places. As we settled into the car, Sterling turned the key and the engine hummed to life, filling the air with a sense of anticipation. The quiet that enveloped us as we drove felt almost palpable. I gazed out the window, resisting the urge to break the stillness with chatter. Yet in time, Sterling found the courage to speak up. "Jennifer at times has varying priorities," he remarked, his gaze locked on the path before him. "Yet it never ceases to amaze me how careless she can be on occasion. On evenings such as this, one would anticipate having their companion close at hand." I missed the way he expressed himself. In that moment, I found myself in a state of tranquility. Yet there lingered an undercurrent of unfulfilled expectations just below the surface. His words resonated profoundly within me. The image of someone like Alfred, strong, charismatic, and composed, experiencing loneliness, stirred something deep within me. I composed myself and replied, though my voice trembled just a bit. "Indeed, in moments like these, it's essential to reflect a bit deeper." Sterling gave a subtle nod. "You're right," he replied, his eyes fixed firmly ahead as the journey continued. Yet it seems that each connection has its own unique narrative. In that moment, I sensed a silent bond forming between us. It was as if I could sense and truly empathize with his solitude. In that moment, I found myself wrestling with my own feelings. That brief conversation felt like a thread weaving us together, the connection between us deepening softly, yet intensely. As we reached our doorstep, Sterling swung the door wide and invited me in with a welcoming motion. As the day came to a close, he whispered softly, "Good night." Yet the way he paused revealed that he still had tales to share before departing. As I strolled toward my room, I caught sight of Sterling lingering by the doorway. An unusual impulse halted my steps, compelling me to turn and confront him. "Alfred," I murmured, my voice just a breath above silence. "Would you care to join me inside? Perhaps we could share some tales for a bit." Though the longing in Alfred's eyes was unmistakable, he graciously turned down the offer. In the wake of recent events, a sense of reluctance lingered in his demeanor. I welcomed him in to demonstrate that I had moved on, that it no longer held any significance for me. Yet I found myself withdrawing to my room, revisiting Jennifer's actions and Alfred's words in a continuous loop in my thoughts. His solitude was palpable. It touched me deeper than I was willing to acknowledge. Perched on the edge of my bed, I sought to find some peace, yet the whirlwind of thoughts in my mind refused to settle. What was it about him that kept occupying my thoughts? What was it about that moment when he stumbled into my room that kept playing in my mind? As time passed slowly, the silence in the house deepened. Celeste was still absent, leaving me in the dark about Alfred's actions. As I grappled with my thoughts, the unexpected creak of my door swinging open caused me to halt in my tracks. As I raised my gaze, there stood Alfred, framed in the doorway. His eyes sparkled with resolve, yet his face betrayed a whirlwind of emotions. I sprang to my feet. "Alfred," I exclaimed, my voice betraying my astonishment, "what brings you to this place?" He shut the door softly, lingering at the threshold, hesitant to cross into the unknown space beyond. Instead, he lingered in place, caught in a silent struggle within his own mind. "Emily," he started, his voice soft yet heavy with feeling. "Indeed, you have a point. Jennifer, she doesn't treat me right. But tonight, I'm not concerned with Jennifer's actions or inactions." He moved in a bit, his eyes fixed intently on me. "For some time now, emotions have stirred within me for you," he confessed, his tone unwavering yet tinged with uncertainty. "It was a moment that changed everything as I stumbled into your room unexpectedly. It keeps playing over and over in my mind. The atmosphere felt heavy, as if all the breath had been drawn away. Words eluded me, and my mind was a blank canvas." Sterling pressed on, a fire in his eyes, eager to share his thoughts, fully aware that he might look back on this moment with a tinge of regret. "Perhaps I'm about to embark on a risky journey, but I can no longer hold this in. Emily, you are always on my mind." He took a moment, looking into my eyes as if seeking a spark of emotion. It was clear he noticed the surprise reflected in my gaze. He moved a bit nearer, his voice becoming gentler. "You've got a grasp on my thoughts, Emily. Perhaps you aren't aware, but you truly see me. That's a feat that has always eluded Jennifer." My heart raced with such intensity that I feared it might explode. The gravity of the moment was immense. In that moment, I found myself at a loss for words. unable to express what I felt inside. The stillness that enveloped us was profound, brimming with the hidden feelings we hesitated to confront. Sterling finally averted his eyes, letting them drift down to the ground. With a heavy heart, he let out a deep sigh and took a moment to gather himself. "Apologies, Emily," he expressed. His voice was soft, delicate, and almost ethereal. "Perhaps I ought to have kept these thoughts to myself. I think it's time for me to leave." He averted his gaze and began to make his way to the door. With each step he took, there was a sense of purpose, yet the weight of unseen tales lingered in the air. As he extended his hand toward the doorknob, I observed the subtle rise and fall of his shoulders, a deep breath escaping him. In that moment, a transformation stirred within me. All my fears and confusion faded, giving way to a courage I never realized was within me. I just had to keep him from walking away. "Alfred," I called out, my voice a soft murmur, yet powerful enough to resonate throughout the space. He paused, as if contemplating the next chapter of his tale. Gradually, he pivoted to face me, our gazes locking in a moment of connection. They were engulfed in chaos, a tale of sorrow and yearning unfolding within their depths. In that fleeting instant, we remained perfectly still. With a heart full of anticipation, I gently let the straps of my dress slip from my shoulders, watching as it cascaded to the floor. The soft glow in the room highlighted the exposed skin of my shoulders, while the cool air gently caressed my body. Alfred's gaze was upon me, sharp and unyielding, as if it held a narrative all its own. It was as if I could feel his gaze on me, tracking each step I took, and I found myself unable to tear my eyes away. "I haven't forgotten either, Alfred," I said, my voice quivering, yet the resolve within me burned brightly, overpowering any hint of uncertainty. That day, when you stepped into my room, a transformation unfolded. Since then, I've been attempting to hold back these emotions, but it's proving difficult because I have feelings for you as well. Perhaps I've been doing so for quite a while." As the words flowed forth, my heart raced with such intensity that I feared it might leap from my chest. Sterling paused, his gaze locked onto mine, as if he were sifting through the weight of my words. Yet within those eyes, I sensed a familiar draw, an unmistakable bond that mirrored my own emotions. This evening, I found myself pausing to take a deep, calming breath. I'm ready to let go of these emotions once and for all. I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but this is what I'm experiencing, Alfred. He moved in, his hands softly caressing my face. His touch carried a gentle intention, as though he feared shattering the magic of the moment. As our gazes met, it was as if the distance that once separated us vanished into thin air, revealing a deeper connection that had always been there. Gently, he bent closer, and our lips finally touched. That first kiss opened the floodgates of every feeling and longing we had kept buried for what felt like an eternity. Alfred's touch deepened, and his kisses ignited with an intensity that surged with every fleeting moment. Not once did the idea of retreating or halting enter my thoughts. I found myself utterly immersed in the experience. Gingerly, I retreated until the familiar touch of the bed met my legs, and I surrendered to its embrace, allowing myself to fall onto it. As I observed, Alfred's fingers danced over the buttons of his shirt, methodically unfastening each one in a deliberate manner. Each action was intentional, as though he aimed to relish this instant, to prolong its existence. As he finally let go of his shirt, an aura of confidence and authority enveloped the space, captivating everyone around. He advanced another step closer, his eyes locked onto mine with unwavering intensity. With his clothes arranged meticulously at the bed's edge, he leaned in, inching closer, until the only things that remained were the palpable tension and the surrounding atmosphere. The atmosphere surrounding us was charged with intense emotion and longing. Moments stretched out endlessly. In that fleeting instant, it was just the two of us, lost in our own world. He leaned over me, and in that moment, we shared a profound connection, yielding to one another entirely. It was deeply moving. A profound warmth blossomed within me, something grand and enveloping. This experience was unlike anything I had encountered in the past. As I gazed at Alfred, the sight of his broad shoulders and muscular physique painted a vivid picture in my mind. With my eyes shut tight, I lifted my hands high, pressing them against the pillow, attempting to mirror the graceful movements of Alfred's form. In that instant, my body tightened with intensity. Sterling gazed at me and remarked, "You are truly one of a kind." I've always been aware of that. I've gained a clearer perspective on it now. He gasped for air. "So you are Alfred," I said, and a comforting warmth spread through me. It was as if reality had woven itself into a tapestry of vivid imagination. Once Sterling settled next to me, I nestled my head against his chest. As I rested against his sturdy chest, the soothing cadence of his heartbeat filled the air around us. The essence of this moment stirred a blend of tranquility and inner conflict within me. As my fingers softly danced over his chest, I summoned the bravery to shatter the stillness that enveloped us. This time, Alfred, your entrance into my room was no mere coincidence, I said, my voice low yet laden with significance. I raised my head to meet his eyes, my words compelling him to face the reality, while simultaneously exposing the chaos within me. Alfred's lips curled into a subtle smile, yet the profound contemplation lingered in his expression, revealing a world of unspoken narratives within. No, Emily, he said. Everything about this was intentional, but I needed to share my feelings with you, regardless of how challenging it may be. I averted my eyes to his chest, my fingers gradually easing their motions. With a deep breath, I began to share my thoughts once more. In a gentle whisper, I expressed, Alfred, you are truly one of a kind and remarkably handsome. But what unfolds next? How do we carry on, my dear ones? Sterling tilted his head slightly, drawing me nearer as his fingers wove through my hair, creating a moment rich with unspoken tales. His voice carried a serene quality, yet it was brimming with feeling. I'm not sure about Emily, but in this moment, everything feels vividly authentic. Being close to me, I can't deny it. His words stir the tempest within, yet his honesty brings a calming balm to my turmoil. As I shut my eyes, I immerse myself in the comforting aura of his presence, even as the shadows of the unknown future danced around us. In that moment, our connection was all that mattered. If you've journeyed with me to this point, I sense that my narrative has resonated with you profoundly. There are countless tales waiting to be unveiled, and you'll definitely want to be part of every single one. Make sure to tap that follow button, enable notifications, and share your thoughts about this tale in the comments. I'm eager to hear what you have to share.